What's up, you guys? We are back for another Do That But Better. What's up, Eric?
How's it going? Welcome
Very good.
to the what? Post open one.
Post 22.1. So, Eric, have you been doing the open?
I did it. I didn't register because I will not be able to do it this week. But I did do the workout. I'm trying to look up. Let's see. I know I did 8 rounds plus 4 reps. So it was
Oh,
244.
oh man, that's too bad. I mean, I guess that's probably good for you, but
It was okay.
I mean, I got 261, so
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah, should have gone faster. Should have gone faster on the wall walk. That's
what did you think? What did you think about that workout?
Well, I am a big fan of putting the wall walks in the open.
Yeah.
It's a way more accessible movement than the handstand push-ups and way easier to judge and like a much more uh, sensible standard, I would say.
Yeah.
Because the handstand push-ups, it was getting ridiculous of like how far or
Well,
how high your heels had to hit. Like it was
no,
crazy.
nobody said that it's not going to be in it. So you still
True.
don't know that. But
I love the wall walks, and man, they crush your core, and like they're just so exhausting. They're fun.
Yeah. So I also love the wall walks, and I love the standard, and I feel like the standards really took a movement that number one, most people don't do this. Like most people don't do wall walks in a class. We actually do them semi often. They're definitely not. It's not like a thruster or a pull up that you're going to see it every day. But we will have them in our program somewhat often. And when you saw people do it, our standard was always chest to the ground, chest to the wall, chest to the ground. And for some reason, the fact that you can't move your hands until your feet are on the wall, I think it makes people move better. It gets them tight first, putting their arms out. I think it's great.
Yep. I love them. And I feel like when I first started doing CrossFit and was just following the main site, I feel like we did them all the time. I just remember being in the hallway of the rec center doing wall walks with people trying to get by and just flopping to the ground. I love them.
Well, I definitely feel like when I first got into CrossFit also, whether it was because it was doing the main site stuff or I think that the gymnastic stuff, it was sort of novel and accessible. And so I think I gravitated towards that first. It was like, hey, let's do a wall walk. I think I can work on that versus trying to do like, especially at the time, it was like 200-pound clean, or it was like and so it seemed a little bit more accessible. And now I feel like because of the games, strength is the cool thing. So it's like, let's lift this barbell, let's put it over our head, let's do these crazy things with weights. And I feel like that's why CrossFit has really, throwing in the wall walks, and when they threw in the pegboard, and doing stuff with L sits and things like that. I think that they're like, hey, did you not forget that in our progression we need to do some gymnastics? And but yeah, now I'll have to say that the wall walks, I felt that was the easiest part. So I was able to do the wall walks. I think I took 4 steps to get back, and it was almost like 2 steps to get down. It was like one long one, then I was on the tape, and down. And I felt like it took like no time, and I was able to relax, and it wasn't hard. The box jumps always take a lot out of me.
Yeah, I agree.
I can do them. I can't necessarily do them very fast. Like I feel like most people are faster than me in box jumps, but that was I feel like it wasn't necessarily a struggle, but that's what held me back. And actually, at the end, I tried to step it up a little bit, and the step down, it got me. I got no rep twice because I jumped down and I was like, duh, and when I was trying to go fast, it just really messed me up.
Yeah. Yeah, that was an interesting standard. And yeah, I guess I didn't go in with much of a plan.
Hmm.
But now that you're saying that, like, yeah, the snatches, you go as fast as you go. Like,
Yeah,
if you're going unbroken, it's just that. And same with box jumps. Like, you're just going to hit your rhythm. So then it is the wall walks. And I was expecting the wall walks to be way worse. So I
yeah,
was like pacing that a little bit.
yeah.
But yeah, man, at the end, and I do them fast. That is my strategy, is like get your feet on the wall, get there, get back down as fast as you can. Like
Yeah,
get to the wall and back as fast as you can because it sucks being upside down.
yeah.
And I was taking breaks in between
Hmm.
because I was expecting that to really be the failure point. But yeah, like you were saying, I actually felt really good with those and wish I had gone a little bit faster, taken less
Yeah,
rest. But yeah,
yeah. Then you
it
could
was
have been
fun.
close. You could have had a closer score to me.
here's here's the speculation point. Was that, I don't know, I haven't looked up like if they've said. I assume that they did not use Castro's programming for the
No, they
Open.
did. That
Oh,
is
they
that.
did?
Yeah, this is the last year of
Oh,
Castro's.
huh,
Hmm.
okay.
Why?
Because I thought I felt like that did not seem like a Castro workout. It didn't
Oh,
seem hard
really?
enough.
Well, Eric, you should have gone faster.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Maybe I'll retest it just to show you.
All right. But yeah, well, I'll tell you what, the Open is in full effect, and it's been awesome. This is actually our best turnout for the Open. So we have, I think it's 31 um, participants this year, which is absolutely fantastic. We've got people who literally they started like last week. So it was like they did a week of group class, and it's like let's do the Open. And I'll tell you what, the high fives and the cheering and all that stuff we've been doing Friday Night Lights, it's been awesome. And I actually just had a member who had said, I usually I don't ever get the way that I felt after this workout, right? Like I never feel the way that I felt after this workout. They're like,
Mm,
they're like it was a like an eye opener that I need to go faster or I need to work harder.
mm-hmm.
And I thought it was a really interesting comment. And I feel like they're partially right. You know, so so in right now this is a competition, and this is something where you're gonna lay it all the line or lay it all on the line. But
Mm-hmm.
every day is not a competition, and this is really why we train. And if you are using every day in the gym as a competition, so obviously you want to get better, right? But if you are going max intensity, there's a lot of problems with that. Most people, they're not trying to win money like people are in the CrossFit Games. They're
Mm-hmm.
looking for better quality of life. They're looking to be better at my sport, whatever it is, looking to lose weight. And max intensity is going to be good for occasionally to test, but it doesn't need to be done every day.
Yeah. Yeah. Effective dose.
Yeah,
Minimum effective dose.
minimum
Right.
effective dose.
Yeah. And it's not maximal intensity.
Right. But this is what I love about competition is that you get to test yourself. You get to see what intensity actually feels like, or max intensity actually feels like. And just like this person said, I can go a little bit harder. And so, and this is where I feel that they were partially right. They're
Mm-hmm.
now you look at a workout and you go, this is how hard I've gone. This is the max that I could do, and this is how I felt. And now you go, how did I feel yesterday in this workout, right? And can
Yeah.
I step that up a little bit? And if you can, go for it. But most of the time, you don't necessarily need to feel like death. And in CrossFit, we have benchmarks, and we will periodically do these things. So we might do Fran and Diane and Cindy, and um, we might do like one or two a month. And this is a great time to test yourself, whereas the rest of your time you're doing training. You're going to push yourself, but go, I could have possibly done a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's like, like you're saying with the open or any competition, if you've never done that, like this person, it sounds like, then you come into your daily workouts and you're thinking, I'm at a 10.
Mm-hmm.
And then you do a competition and you're like, oh, that was a 10. I
Absolutely.
was actually at 6. So
Right.
now, like day to day, I can bring it up to an 8, right?
Mm-hmm.
You start to recognize what is actually possible
Right.
from a capacity standpoint and from a pain standpoint.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is something that you can take into life. And when you are working out, I hope that when you work out, that the difficulty is more difficult than most things that you do in life, so that when it comes up and you have to do a full day of moving furniture, or you're tearing down your garage and whatever it is like, I've done hard work like this before, and this wasn't too
Yeah,
bad.
it's not a 24-hour. It's not a 24-hour hero workout.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. Once you've done something like that, everything else seems pretty easy. And same thing with this test. It's 3 weeks where you do go ham, and then you go back to your normal training. But that's another thing that's great about this, is that you are going to test yourself. You're going to get immediate feedback. When the submissions close and you get to see where you're at, you also get to see what are the things that I have been modifying too much, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
in the wall walks, if maybe the standard that you were using, the 20-inch box, we have plenty of people who are not jumping onto a 20-inch box, and now it's like you have to, and you go, guess what?
Yep.
I can do that, and I like that, because in training you shouldn't be doing things that you shouldn't be doing things often that you totally don't know that you can do, right? You're going to work
Yeah.
up to that, and then your training should be preparing you so that when they go, guess what, you have to do a 20-inch box, now you have to do it. And
Mm-hmm.
and I like already in one workout, same thing with the snatch. The 50 or 35-pound dumbbell snatch, and you go,
Yep.
I usually don't use 35, I usually don't use 50. Well, give it a try. And this is a great time to go for broke and go, all right, if I was doing a workout, it would really slow me down, and I probably wouldn't get the stimulus that was intended.
Right.
But this is a test. Go for it.
Yep.
And
Yeah. Like the intention of the open is not the stimulus to create improvement. It is to test what improvement you've made.
absolutely.
And so, like, understanding the difference in your daily workouts versus competition is gonna, I mean, that's huge, because
Yeah.
now you can really turn it on when it's competition, and you can be really intentional in your training days.
Yeah. Yeah. Now you start and looking at looky. I said it 3 times, like looky. I'm like, no, looking. When you start looking at the things that cripple you in this, like in the open, now you go, all
Mm-hmm.
right, this is where I should really be focusing. And lots of times you start seeing things like, oh, I'm always weak sauce in the cardio, right? I like to lift that heavy barbell. Or you're the cardio junkie that is like, just let's knock this weight down a little bit. And all of a sudden you have to move some heavy weights, and you go, guess what? I can do this. I always see
Yep.
this. I always see this with kettlebells. And now there's like never kettlebells in the open. But people are like, all right, I'm going to go grab the 25-pound kettlebell. And
Mhm.
our kettlebells, they go up in like 15-pound increments. And you go, all right, this 25 is hard. And then that one day when you go, you're using a 35 and you're going to do all the reps, they do it, and then they never want to touch a 25 again.
Yeah.
And I think that this, we'll probably see this with people in pull-ups. We'll probably see this, with a heavy weight. We saw it with the box jumps this week, and
Mhm.
it's like, yeah, you were sitting there, and your training has been progressing you, right? And you weren't ready for it at
Totally.
first, but now you are. And guess what? We don't have to look back.
Yeah. Sort of a tangent on that
Hmm.
that I've never really thought about before, but I feel like you could go to someone and be like, "Has your clean or snatch PR'd recently?
Hmm.
And have you improved your clean or snatch since you have moved up in kettlebell? Because if your clean and snatch go up, you should be swinging a heavier kettlebell.
Oh yeah,
Because
absolutely.
the reason I think of that is because for like a year, I was just working out at home and all I was using was kettlebells. And so
Yeah.
I was swinging two 53-pound kettlebells. And like when you start doing that instead of cleans, then I went back to cleans and I was like, holy crap, these feel awesome. Because I've been doing heavy kettlebell swings.
Hmm.
And I think the same could be true. So I don't know, something to
Absolutely.
think about for people who have been PRing your lifts but not moving up in your kettlebells.
Yeah.
Tangent over.
Well,
But
and I mean, that's the beauty of functional movements. And so when functional movements, they move quarter extremity. So big muscles and small muscles from the inside outside. And when you're moving well, everything is everything is helping everything else. So,
yeah,
when your pull-ups get better, strangely enough, all of a sudden I'm better at running. And it's like, why in the world does that happen? And I don't know. But I mean, so because we have these motor recruitment patterns, it does help. Actually, I was just talking to Shane because he's been playing basketball, but he just went to a baseball workout, and he was like, I think I'm throwing way harder, and he's like, and I was hitting really well, and he's like, I haven't played baseball since our last game, and which was in the summer,
hmm
but he's been doing other things, and now once again he's getting hand-eye coordination with basketball.
yeah,
He's getting his agility, he's getting balance, he's learning how to use his body. And in a shot from basketball, you're going hips into shoulders into arms, and when he goes to swing the bat, he's going to go hips into shoulders and the arms, and all these things are related, and he doesn't necessarily have to practice that thing as much as you might think to be good as at that thing.
yeah, totally. Um, Going back to competition and like finding your limits.
Yeah.
I feel like every time I drop in, that your programming has a lot of like EMOM
Mm.
stuff around.
Okay.
And I feel like that is the sweet spot for a lot of these things. If you want to use a little bit heavier kettlebell, if you want to
Mm.
bump up the weight you use for cleans as a standard weight, or the number of pull-ups you can do at a time, right?
Yeah.
Because those are going to show up. Like those are going to be the big limiters in the open.
Yeah.
Is if the weight feels too heavy, if you can't get a lot of string a lot of reps together, and that's the way to practice. Is now you can take that weight that is a little bit heavier than you usually do and do an EMOM, right? Or
Yeah.
that kettlebell and swing it 4 times a minute, every minute on the minute, or pull-ups. You do however many reps to find that limit and keep pushing it.
Hmm.
And so that's what the competition does, is it exposes those weaknesses and gives you an idea of where you're at. So it's like, okay, I could only do 3 pull-ups at a time when I was totally burnt out. So I'm going to do 3 pull-ups at a time every minute on the minute for 10 minutes.
Right.
Or I'm going to do 4 every minute and increase that. And next year, when the Open shows up, you're going to smoke your old PRs because
Absolutely.
you've actually practiced.
Yeah. One thing that I always find interesting is if you've been doing the Open for a while, you make progress, and we often don't see progress. And this is almost a frustrating thing. And what I mean by that is, say that you are in the 50th percentile, and now your clean goes up, you have a better pace on your row. You can do 50 unbroken wall balls when you could only do 10. You can do sets of 10 in pull-ups, and you used to be able to do 2. And you do the Open again, and you're like, here we go, and you're in the 50th percentile. And you're like, you son of a gun, like, how did this happen? But it's frustrating, but it's also very cool to see that the CrossFit world continuously adapts, and we're doing it together without seeing each other with different programs. It's like, no, if you keep doing this consistently, you're getting the benefits out of it. Yeah. And sometimes that's a hard pill to swallow, but and actually I remember you remember Kate Wachter?
Mm-hmm.
The one year she's like, here's Stacy Tovar's numbers. I want to get these. Like, these are the things that I need to get so that I can, whether it's go to regionals or, just I want to be more competitive. And she got like pretty much all of them. And when we came to the Open, it was like they went here. And it's like, man, and that's just what happens. But the cool thing about that is that fitness is just getting that great. Like the things that normal people are doing now is just unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, if you go back and watch Every Second Counts,
the
2008 CrossFit Games, everyone would have won that. Like, there are literally, I'd say, tens of thousands of people who would beat Jason Khalipa in 2008. Right now.
I would actually love to go back and just like look at like what weights and movements and times and see what they are and how far we've come.
Oh, it's massive.
Yeah.
Because I think a couple years ago in the games, they did a workout from the first CrossFit Games, I think, except that they increased the weights and they still beat the original times.
Right. Well, I mean, just think about 135-pound snatch.
Right.
10 years ago. It's like, what? And then now go 185. And it's like,
right. And now that's like
holy crap. Well, yeah, now you have to have like at least 275 to even be considered, and they're snatching 300. And it's like, holy cow, what a jump. And they didn't get less endurance. They didn't become just weightlifters. They're doing all of it still, and their mile times are getting faster. And
right, and like triathlons, they're swimming and biking and stuff. I mean, like, I remember being frustrated because I could not, like, trying to do a workout RX from the main site with 135 was just exhausting. So I was doing EMOMs with 155 constantly until 135 felt light. And now I'm like, okay, I can do the workouts. And now 135, that's like, I mean, that's kind of RX, but it's crazy.
Yep. Yeah, it's really made a big change. Now, one other thing that
it's important to recognize that, kind of what we were talking about, is that that's happened for all of CrossFit, for like the sport and for the programming, and that's what's going to happen for you when you're doing it consistently. Like you were saying, like, you might improve all your numbers and maybe your placement in the open hasn't improved as much as you'd like. But like, that's because it works.
Yeah.
Right? Across the entire world, it's working.
Yeah.
Which I think, like you said, it could be frustrating that you aren't seeing your ranking go up, but it should be encouraging that you are part of something that is working and it's working for you and everybody else.
And it's changing the landscape of health,
Yep.
which is really fantastic. Now, speaking of health, one other thing that I think that comes out of the open is the need for rest. And uh, just talking to people coming in today, when we did that workout on Friday, and people are like, "Oh my goodness, I'm still sore from Friday." And this is one of those things where people don't like to take rest days. They think that it's weak, it's whatever. But if you're trying to hit max intensity all the time, you're going to need more. Now, if I'm hitting that 75, 85% really often, I might need a little bit less. And so now I'm able to get more work done. So especially in this open season, it's important to be feeling that out when you're going into the gym, and you're going to do this workout when we know that on Friday we're going to beat our head into the ground again. It's like, all right, how am I feeling? What can I do to move better on Friday? Because I need a couple days. And if you think about football, right? Football, they play one game a week, and then it's not that they're not working hard the rest of that week. They're going to come back and they're going to do some run throughs. Like, so they might have like a couple days of actually taking some rest. Then they're going to be going a little bit more at speed. They're going to be hitting it hard, and then it's game day, and now you're ready again. And just think about the NFL. They were fighting because they wanted to add games, and they're like, dude, we need more rest. They play 16 games a year.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they need more rest.
Like everyone knows that the playoffs come down to which team is the healthiest.
Right.
Because by that point, you've got a ton of people injured. Everyone's exhausted.
Right.
Yeah.
But so,
yeah.
Really, really start thinking about it, especially right now, if you are competing, that, hey, I need to make sure that I'm recovering. Do a little extra massage, do some extra stretching, make sure you're getting your sleep, make sure you're eating really well. And it's really going to help benefit you, and scale your workouts when you need it. So don't worry about what the weight is today. If you need to move today, that's fantastic. And you could think about this all year round. What's going on in my life? Is my life high stressed right now? Am I having trouble recovering? Am I feeling fatigued? And now you go, all right, this isn't a test. This is just life. And so I'm training, and how am I going to train the best?
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
absolutely.
So speaking of training, that's one other thing with the open. When we think about the standards, so we were talking about the wall walk standards. Now there is times right now, because if you're doing a competition, that all I'm trying to do is meet the standards. So we're going to meet them as close as possible if I'm really trying to get the best time. Now, you don't have to do that. You can. So a full depth squat for CrossFit standards is hip crease below the knee, right? But for all intents and purposes, if I can get it lower, if I can get more range of motion, I'm going to be stronger through fuller range of motion, and it's going to be very beneficial for me.
Yep.
Now, if I'm using the minimal standard when I'm working out, then I'm not training through that full range of motion, and I won't have it when it comes to times in life where I actually need it. And so always remember that if you're doing that, hey, I want my pull-up to just be enough. It's like, that's great for a competition, but we have to make sure that why are we doing it and when? So,
right. Yep. In competition, it's efficiency.
Mm-hmm.
So, right, the least amount of movement, the most work done with the least amount of movement. In training and in life, it's functionality.
Right.
And the bigger range of motion you have, the more functionality you have.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, you know what? We had one person that they have trouble with their knee, and the 20-inch step up is difficult on the one leg. And if there is no standard to step up on each on alternating legs, then it's like for this competition, step up on one leg. But guess what? In training, I need you to do both. And so now we bring that box down. Now, whatever we need to do so that I can get work on this knee so that it works properly, as opposed to I'm going to spend the rest of my life using one leg, right? Because that will lead to asymmetries and overuse on that other leg, and now your good leg is your bad leg. So that's one just instance where you might use the standard to your advantage so that you are efficient. But now we go back and we go, this was my weakness, and I need this better. Because I can promise you, if you're stepping up on one leg only, it's not going to be the most efficient in the long term.
Yeah. And even, something like wall walks, where you can complete that with a totally broken midsection and like arching and like looking floppy and terrible, and you meet the standard. But training days, no, that doesn't fly. And same thing like overhead, right? You're going to see that with push press or push jerks. I'm sure we'll see them in the open, and you're going to see some really ugly ones, which is fine because you're meeting the standard with whatever your standard weight is. But in training, that's not how you do it.
Yeah. And for all intents and purposes, eventually that the crappy moving is going to be less efficient. So it might be more effective right now, but it's not more efficient. And so if I learn to be more efficient, I'm going to be more effective in the long term. So yeah, like you said, this is a one-time thing. Now, if that is horribly grotesque and it's dangerous, then you really shouldn't be doing it. And it's like, all right, take that rest and maybe, hey, I'm done for this workout. But it's so sometimes less efficient isn't necessarily inherently unsafe, but it definitely can be. So now you really got to watch that, especially in that competition setting, because that's when we start to not care about anything.
Yeah.
And it's like,
so listen to your coach.
Still care. Yep, that's right. Still care.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, so I think one of the biggest things with this is, I feel that competition is fantastic. And this is what I love about the CrossFit Open. And it's not about people going to the games or anything like that. But, when you put your commitment to something where you put a little bit of money down, you're going to see this leaderboard, and you get that little bit of anxiety. You get the butterflies in the belly, and it's just a workout. I think that it really does something for you, and it lets you know what hard really feels like. It gives you immediate feedback to tell you, this is where I'm lacking, and this is where I should probably be spending a little bit more time. And really, group suffering. So doing it with a bunch of people, and they're cheering you on, and there's clapping and yelling and all that stuff. It brings better results, And I think that it's a fantastic time of year, and I'm glad that it's 3 weeks instead of 5. But yeah, it's already started out to be a fantastic open season, and I'm really excited about the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, and it's a great learning experience, like we were saying. You learn what limits you've been putting on yourself, what your actual limits are, and where you can actually exist in your training, right? Like the places that you need to improve and the places that you're already better than you thought.
Right.
Which is
absolutely. Well, awesome. I think that's good for today, Eric.
Yeah. Enjoy the upcoming open announcement and workout.
Yeah. What are your predictions? You got any predictions?
I haven't given a ton of thought. I suspect wall balls are coming. Did they have med ball on the list?
Nope.
Oh, then it's just going to be thrusters. No, they'll save thrusters for the last one. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. There's a pull-up bar.
Yep.
So last year, were there actual pull-ups or only muscle-ups?
I think there was only muscle ups.
So maybe they'll do pull-ups this year.
So
double unders.
I feel like, so we got pull ups and double unders. I feel like we've got. Oh, you know what? I wonder, what was that? Do you remember that there was like the muscle up snatch, like 75-pound snatch, muscle ups, and then was it just those two? Remember when I came and did that in Denver?
In Denver? Oh, yeah.
It was Undeniable.
Yeah.
I think it might have been just muscle ups and snatches. I'll tell you what, I might throw that in there. So I think that it's going to be on the bar. And so I think that it's either going to be muscle ups or toes to bar. I'm going to predict that if there's muscle ups, the scaled version is pull ups. And yeah, I think that's actually my prediction for this one. I'm going to say muscle ups and snatches. And man, I don't want that one. I hated that. And actually, I did that one, and I had to come and do it by you because I did it here, and then I realized that I misloaded the bar. So I used somebody else's bar, and
oh, that's right.
And so then I had to do it over, and I did way worse the second time. And I was like, son of a gun.
Loaded.
Well, yeah. So it was properly loaded, and it was only, I think it was 10 pounds total. I think it was a 5 on each side or something like that. Because I think it was a 35-pound bar, and they had the 20. I don't know. There was something weird about it, and and so not only was it a little bit heavier, but then we were coming to Colorado. I started warming up, and I did like 3 double unders, and I'm like, what the?
It is crappy.
It was brutal. So, all right, that's my prediction. That I'm going to say a repeat of the muscle ups and snatches. I would like some light snatches. I don't want heavy snatches.
Yeah, man. Yeah, like the quarterfinals last year, those 185 snatches. Whew.
I'm trying to think. I was trying to think of something with a like toes to bar, thrusters, and burpees, because I feel like those 3 may still be in the running, and that would hurt.
Horrible.
Yeah,
that sounds. So the toes to bar and burpee combination.
Oh, that would be brutal.
That's an abs and hip flexor rhabdo day.
Yeah. So, well, that's what we got. That's our predictions. Yep. We'll see how it comes out next week. And you guys, we will see you later for Do That But Better every Tuesday at 12 o'clock. See you later.
See ya.